What's up, guys, and welcome back to another EPL preview with myself, Victor, Bodega15, and Charlie.
Yep. Hey, guys.
We got an interesting four-game slate here with only one big favorite and the rest toss-ups, so let's look right into it. We got Brentford against Newcastle. Brentford are surprisingly slight favorites at plus 150. They've just been horrible. If this is the team, man, that is bad. And BRUNO take something.
Daniels, maybe?
Vanolt, it's.
Some combination of those guys.
I don't like this team at all. I've never liked them the whole year. They're horrible.
But saying that Tony's very in play, as usual.
Yeah, for sure. And then we got Newcastle. In this team, it'd be a Fraser and Target split. We saw Target for the first time last game hop on some corners, and he got a lot of corners, which was interesting. Got Brighton and Aston Villa. Brighton, after getting smacked by Burnley, are plus 125. Their sets would be McAllister and then maybe just a pinch of Cucurella. And for Aston Villa, we have Digne, and we saw Coutinho hop on corners last game over Douglas Luiz.
And outswingers, too. They usually are an in-swinger team.
So I think they switched with Digne outswinging and Coutinho outswinging. So we'll see if that continues. But with Aston Villa, you can't play them for the sets. You got to play them for the open play. Crystal Palace, Burnley. Crystal Palace minus 110 after coming off a big win. They play Burnley here.
We're also coming off a big win.
Right. Two big wins.
Yeah.
So got Gallagher and Olise should split here, which is pretty self-explanatory. And then Burnley, if this is the lineup, Ashley Westwood's supposed to be back. We'll see if he starts or not, but this would be Brownhill and McNeil splitting. I think we saw somebody else take a corner here, but we'll see how that goes. And we got the biggest favorite on the slate, Man United minus 333 against Watford. Coming off a big Champions League game, I'm expecting some rotation. I don't know if we'll see Shaw or not. We probably will see
it'll be
Alenga.
Tellez. Yeah, he's been playing well, too.
Yeah, he's probably been their best player recently. No ego on him. But if this is the team, it would be Shaw and Bruno. If it's Tellez, I think Tellez might take just about everything.
I think he'd take most, yeah.
And then for Watford, I hate Watford. I don't want anybody on Watford. At least people won't be forced to play Kiko and get bailed out every time, but it would be Kiko and Luza splitting. And I can't get baited by Luza. If you guys have
you've learned your lesson.
Teams, I'm done playing Luza. All right, let's go into the pricing. Forward, I think honestly, probably the best forward, but I don't know if many people can do it for cash per se, but GPP, the best forward's got to be Zaha, right?
It's between him and Ronaldo. I think they'll both be decently owned.
Zaha has just been really good. He did get bailed out very, very late. He was looking pretty mediocre, but then he got there in the end with 2 goals late.
I mean, if he does that every game, people don't care when he scores.
And you have to admit, Burnley are just going to park, but maybe that's why you go for Crystal Palace floor pieces here instead of maybe a ceiling in Zaha. You got Ronaldo next, goal or bust recently. I mean, he's been bad for DFS at least, but
I mean, he's playing Watford. He's got hammered at home by Palace.
He's going to be the most owned forward. Whether you play him in cash or not, the only reason why you're playing him in cash is because the odds, not because he's Ronaldo, I would say.
Because of the odds and because he's Ronaldo. Ronaldo with those odds.
I don't know. I think Tony's a good GPP play. Penalties.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Rashford, no. Coutinho, I like Coutinho a little bit here. He did have a good matchup last game and disappointed, but I think Coutinho could bounce back here. I think this game's going to be wide open, back and forth, goal fest, so we'll see if that lives up to the name.
Yeah, he's a little much for me, and I typically don't pick against Brighton at home. I know they just got hammered by Burnley, but I think they'll more likely go back to their 1-1 style that they've been used to.
Alenga, 77 GPP.
Maximin was there too.
I don't know if he's going to start. He's a late call. he's always a good GPP play for sure because he can just take over a game and no one can stop him.
Yep.
Sancho and Alonga are like the same person to me. GPP, because I'd only play them really in a stack of United. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
I like them
agree.
as one-offs.
Yeah.
McNeil, people always play McNeil. I'm not playing McNeil. Maupai, GPP. Mateta's been kind of in form. GPP.
He
Eh,
still gets a goal and drops him 11. So
you're hoping he gets 2 goals, and he could.
yeah, he could. He could.
I saw Trossard in projected. He just hasn't been starting for some reason. I feel like he's better than the guys that have been starting.
Well, when he does start, you see his score is like a 2 and a 4.
Don't disrespect Trossard. He's a good guy.
He's not the same as last year, Trossard.
Yeah, for sure. We keep going.
Mbuemo.
Veghorst.
Mbuemo's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah, he's actually probably a good play for once. He's been bad,
If
but
there's no Jensen,
no Jensen and no Jensen and Bumo should have at least a split maybe. But he's been kind of mediocre as Brentford have been in general. But this is a matchup where you think they need to get points.
yeah,
Bailey might play. Bailey's we can see what he can do. He's very pacey, very quick,
very injury prone.
very injury prone. So don't get tilted when he gets subbed in the 25th minute again. Veghorst GPP. Watkins is too cheap, but still only GPP for me.
What about Weghorst? He's been on
Yeah,
fire.
he's been. I wouldn't say he's been on fire. He's had
He's
one
been
good game.
okay.
He had
He
one
had a
good
couple of
game, and
the
it's
7 and a 10 are
Burnley.
solid. It's Man United and Liverpool too.
GPP. Moving on. Joe Linton, I think, is kind of interesting. I know he's not actually a forward, really. He's more of a midfielder.
No, not for me, not whatsoever. I don't know part of that.
You can play him in
He's a
cash. Cash and
yeah.
hope for a 10. And
Well, yeah, no.
I think people will go to Chris Wood. Everyone always goes to Chris Wood,
I
including
always go to
us.
Chris Wood. One
You
day,
always
one day.
look at this guy.
He's
I
too
mean,
cheap every game.
he's so due. It's insane. He's so due. But man, and going down, I don't think any of these guys are even going to play. So we'll go to the midfielders where I think people, including everyone, should just lock and load Bruno with or without set pieces. He's
Yep.
been getting there,
He gets
getting
a
the
goal
job done.
contribution every game.
I mean, even here, 20 floor, 10 floor,
Yeah,
20.
that is insane.
So I don't know how you don't play Bruno. And then it gets interesting. You got the Crystal Palace guys who split. Both are pretty good also in a really good matchup.
Yeah,
Gallagher and Elise. I kind of like them both here.
I do too.
I don't know which one I like more, but I like them both.
At least safe for me for the 500 in savings. That's
And
it. That's the only reason.
playing further forward also.
Yeah, although Gallagher's been the better one attacking wise.
Yeah, for sure. And next, McAllister, he kind of let us down. He got a 9. He kind of let us down last week.
Yeah, you're
I
hoping
think
more with that matchup.
I think he has to. Brighton in general have to bounce back. I kind of like McAllister here. Keep going. Buendia, I hate Buendia. I will never play Buendia.
How many points did he drop last game?
11 somehow.
11. He always gets there. He always gets
Just
there.
no, I'm not playing Buendia. Please don't play Buendia. Pogba's interesting if he can not get subbed for some reason. He played 90 after just coming back, and then he just keeps getting subbed early. So GPP
He's
Pogba.
I love him a lot actually for that cheap. Man
I
United, I think
think
it'll
you
smash.
play him with like other United pieces. You're playing him for an assist or two. You have to play him
I
with
know.
Ronaldo.
I think you. I mean, you could just have a walk with him and Bruno. Hope they combine for a goal. I think could be enough.
We'll see. You know what? I think that'll start, but
They
he's
said I
supposed to be
think
in the
just now
squad.
that he's supposed to play. I think that he's supposed to make his debut. I doubt he'll start. Yeah, but he'll come off the bench.
If he were to somehow start, man, he would be such a lock and load. Christian Eriksen. McGinn, GPP. Joe Willock, if you want to chase. Jacob Ramsey always gets there. He's one of those guys I always like to go to. Any guys you see in this range over here?
Not really, no.
It's pretty barren. I mean, Fred,
Fred's
Will,
fine. Willock
they're
fine.
all
Ramsey
okay.
fine. Yeah.
No locks down here yet. Luis, if he was splitting, which we don't know anymore. I always pick Motor. I feel like he always does okay. Yeah, he does
Yeah,
okay.
he's one of my people, attacking midfielder with 0 sets, just running up and down shooting.
Like if he just did this with a goal contribution, you're in a beautiful spot. So
Yep,
maybe if he
exactly.
starts, keep going. Don't chase Musa Sissoko. Will Hughes is a horrible play. Luza, no thanks. Brownhill. So we saw Brownhill. If Westwood starts, Brownhill's probably not as in play. But man, Brownhill's been on fire, splitting sets. Got an assist
Yeah.
off a set piece last game. And he's just been on fire. And he's just too cheap, even if it's not the most ideal matchup. I
Yeah,
kind
you
of like,
play him for that. If there's no Wood, you lock and load him at 3,600.
yeah, no Westwood, and you just play him, and you probably you can fade him in GPP. It's scary, but cash he's just a lock. Keep going. Aaron Lennon's been kind of good also as a winger, cheap. You know,
He's a
just
good GPP player. If you're when you're chasing upside GPP, I think I'd go him over Brownhill in at
yeah.
least a couple of teams.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. Bruno Guimaraes will never start for some reason. This De Silva guy isn't projected, but he's going to get subbed early because he's coming off a big injury. But he could be in a decent spot, actually.
He's okay, I guess.
Basuma's kind of cheap also. Basuma's a
I
guy I
wouldn't go
like.
him over any of the other guys.
Hmm.
He's okay. I wouldn't go like in a 4 game where you more upside than that than I think he has.
Yeah. So now we'll go on to defender where it's kind of loaded. I think you got to make some decisions here. I think it's probably a 3D slate. What do you think?
Could be. There's just, yeah, a lot of good high scoring defenders there.
I think if Tellez was Shaw's price, he'd just be a lock. Maybe you have to take a couple second guesses whether you want to play him or
He's
not.
a little much.
He has the best matchup, the best odds, but compared to these other guys, is he the 2K better than, I don't know, Dini or something? So
For me, Frazier's the best just because he's playing further forward. Like I'll take a winger at D with set share any day of the week. I know his logs haven't been the best, but he still just has a lot more upside than all those other guys.
I just like to thank DraftKings for making him a D after making him a mid last game. He
Yeah, for
didn't.
one
He's still
week.
playing wing. Like they just felt bad Trippier's out, so they had to make him a D. So
Yep.
I don't understand the thought process, but I like Target more than Fraser personally, but we'll see how that goes. Lamptey's always in play for GPP. Don't get tilted when he gets subbed at 60 though. I
Dinier
think
in play.
Dini was really good for us last week. He was about the only guy that was good for us. 17 floors, 16 crosses. So he's in a just as he's not in as good of a matchup, but he's in a decent matchup. Uh, he's interesting. I think the decision is made if you play one of Tellez, Fraser, or Target, and then you
He played
decide
2 of those,
two
maybe
of
even.
those,
Yeah.
and then you decide do we keep going. We'll see some good plays like
Jacob Murphy's
Cucurella.
interesting if he
If he
starts him.
starts at wing
If
with St.
Frazier
Max,
doesn't play, yeah, it could be Jacob Murphy too there, and he's
or
still.
if St. Maximin doesn't play and you
Yeah,
get,
they could play him out wide on the left wing.
yeah, like he did last game, he got 9 and he played 90 surprisingly after barely playing this whole year. So I don't mind Jacob Murphy. I don't mind Cucurella either. Even if he doesn't, he doesn't need sets to get there. I mean, he gets those stupid points also. Not the guy I hate. I'm not playing Kiko. Don't play Kiko. He's just such a bad play. I hate when I
Not
see
his
people.
matchup this
I
game.
hate seeing people with him. Ugh, it's just the worst. I think Canos is
Canos.
interesting. Yeah, I like him. I'm never a Canos. I never get him right. Nobody has recently. I mean, he's been awful. But if we saw at the beginning of the year Canos, I think he'd be a lock if this was early year. Keep going. Connor Roberts is kind of interesting, but it's Connor Roberts, good bad
Whatever.
game flow. Keep going. Klein could start as a cheap fullback if Joel Ward is still out.
I think I'd rather punt the center back than play Klein.
What about Kraft? Kraft is probably starting for Trippier. He was
No,
horrible.
not for me. Not for me.
3,200. I think in cash he might get some ownership.
I go Klein over him, and I don't like Klein.
Keep
Pinnock.
going.
Pinnock.
Pinnock always gets there. He's just one of those floor center backs. If he's your last man in, just keep him in. Don't tinker your build around fading him. Down here is just all GPP and hope. I'll wrap it up with goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's been the decider. If you get goalkeeper wrong, you know it early pretty much, and you're kicking yourself. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that?
Yep.
You can pay up for De Gea. He's just, I don't know. He made zero, so he didn't have to do anything last game in Champions League. He's been.
He's just, I think you play him. He's just been solid, even giving up a goal to win 2-1. He gets like 6 saves and just is still worth.
Yeah, I'm not the De Gea guy. You are, so if you want
I
to
am
tell the
a De
people to
Gea
play
guy.
De Gea, they'll play some De Gea.
De
I
Gea
don't,
and Butland. Those are my goalies this week.
I don't mind Butland. He's just not a good goal. Has he kept a clean sheet all year?
No.
Nope. So I don't know. I think that continues. I'm not playing Butland. Sanchez absolutely burned me last game, so I'm waiting for the 25.10 save shutout clean sheet win from him this game. Raya's probably in. I think the goalkeeper, in my opinion, to go with is either Raya or Dubravka, but you know, this game could easily be 0-0 with a bunch of floor points, or it could be 3-3 and a bunch of ceilings pop
Yeah.
off. So you just got to keep that in mind. People always like punting Emmy Martinez and Pope. You could do that here.
People love Pope. They
I
love
think
Pope.
I think Pope is probably going to be the chalk cash keeper.
He's fine. Yeah,
He's
he
been
puts up good
good.
numbers.
I mean, look at this. He's been real good. But if you want to punt all the way down, Ben Foster, don't play Ben Foster. Now that I say that, though, he's going to pop off. So, but we'll see. Good luck, everybody. We have the course. MLS starts tomorrow as well as Prem. So we'll have a
Yep.
course for everything.
Last weekend of free content here
You don't want to miss out on this last weekend. We love MLS. We love
in the
Prem,
Discord.
LMX, everything in the Discord. Join it in the description for free just for this weekend now. So good luck, and we'll see you all next week.